right, this is the second part of our lesson on the anterior pituitary gland, and we say that some cells are found in the anterior pituitary gland. Please ensure you watch the first part of this video if you have not. We have the mammotroph, which produces prolactin. We have the thyrotroph, okay, that produces TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. Then we have corticotroph, right? And corticotroph actually produces ACTH and also produces another hormone, which is alpha melanin stimulating hormone. Okay, so because in some disease conditions, like in Addison disease, there is stimulation of this alpha melanin stimulating cell that will lead to actually hyperpigmentation. We'll look at all of that during disease condition. Now, we're going to be focusing our attention on growth hormone and then, gonadotroph and then somatotroph. So, there's a particular hormone produced here, that is growth hormone releasing hormone. Okay? Growth hormone releasing hormone. This hormone is secreted into the portal system, and then it goes to the cells, which is what this cell is this cell, somatotroph, okay, to this cell, somatotroph, and this somatotroph releases growth hormone, okay, releases growth hormone. Now, from the name, growth hormone actually have some basic functions, and which I will want to highlight. Number one is that growth hormone acts on most body cells. All right, most body cells. Okay, and when it acts on body cell, what happens? There is growth, right, and then increased cell division. Okay, increased cell division, and this happens especially on the muscles, and then on the bones. So very, very important. Growth hormone acts on cells, all right, and then causing what? Growth and then cell division. And usually this happens in muscles and in bone. Then number two, it also increases blood glucose level. Okay, it what increases blood glucose, and then there are a lot of mechanisms that actually help to increase blood glucose. Number one is gluconeogenesis. Okay, and gluconeogenesis is actually formation of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources such as amino acid, such as pyruvate, lactate, and even fats. Okay, so growth hormone help to increase blood glucose level via gluconeogenesis. Then it also help in the breakdown of fats, which is known as lipolysis. Okay, then it helps in protein synthesis and mobilization. Protein synthesis and mobilization. Okay. Now, worthy of note, let us know that growth hormone is actually secreted more during childhood. Okay, for children, if you take the concentration of their growth hormone, for example, if you take the concentration of a growth hormone of a child of maybe 5 years old, it will be higher than that of a 70-year-old man, because obviously there is no any serious growth taking place in an adult. Okay, so usually this growth hormone, is usually elevated in children and in adolescents. Okay, and then the level of this hormone actually reduces as one ages. But that does not mean that it's not released; it's actually released. Okay. Another thing that you should know about the growth hormone, actually, its peak secretion is usually during sleep. Okay, and that is why sleep is very, very important for cell growth, for cell division and all of that. So usually it is the peak of this growth hormone is usually during sleep. Also know that this growth hormone can be hyper secreted, okay, and which can lead to some disorders, or it can be low. Right, and usually this can cause a lot of problem like growth retardation, mental retardation, and all of that. And on the other hand, if it is high, gigantism, you see big face, big feet, and all of that. So usually these are associated with growth hormone. So how is growth hormone regulated? Growth hormone is regulated usually via the negative feedback mechanism. If, for example, now in a normal healthy person, there is too much secretion of growth hormone, the hypothalamus will now produce growth hormone, right? Growth hormone inhibiting hormone, okay? Growth hormone inhibiting hormone, which will obviously inhibit, which will inhibit the somatotroph, okay? It will inhibit the somatotroph, and if that happens, growth hormone will be inhibited. So that is negative feedback mechanism. On the other hand, if we now have low amount of growth hormone, then growth hormone releasing hormone will be released to stimulate the somatotroph. All right, so that will be all about growth hormone. All right, as I said, basically the function is that they help to cause cell growth, cell division, muscle mass, and all of that. Then they also help to regulate metabolism. Now let's look at the next cell, which is gonadotrophs. Okay, gonadotroph actually secretes some hormones known as gonadotrophin, and then there are actually two in number. This gonadotroph actually gonadotrophin acts on the gonad, which is the testes, and then for the male, and then ovaries for the females. So usually they secrete two sets of hormones. Let me write it. So this is number one is LH, that is luteinizing hormone, and then the second one is FSH. Okay, FSH. Okay, now for FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, it stimulates the ovaries, particularly in the females, during the menstrual cycle. Okay, it is actually secreted in high amount between the first 14 days of the cycle. Okay, and then as this goes on, there is also secretion of estrogen and then progesterone. So, but just know that high levels of estrogen and progesterone inhibit this pathway. Okay, meaning if we have low estrogen and progesterone, we are going to have production of follicle stimulating hormone. On the other hand, if we now have high progesterone and estrogen level, we are going to have reduced production of follicle stimulating hormone. So basically, just know that follicle stimulating hormone acts on the ovaries to cause production of estrogen and progesterone, and then basically they regulate the menstrual cycle. Now, the luteinizing hormone also have function in the ovarian, in the menstrual cycle, particularly in ovulation, right? It causes rupture of the Graafian follicle. Now, but in men, right? In men, luteinizing hormone actually stimulates some group of cells known as the interstitial cells in the seminiferous tubules, which helps to produce testosterone and obviously helps in spermatogenesis. So basically, that is that about these two sets of hormones, the gonadotrophin. Remember, there are two in number: follicle stimulating hormone, which acts on the gonad to regulate the production of estrogen and progesterone. Then the luteinizing hormone, on the other hand, acts on the male gonad, and they're also causing the release of testosterone that help in spermatogenesis. Okay, so that is that about the pituitary gland generally. If you have questions, ensure you drop it on the comments below. Thank you very much.